Alright, hello everyone, and welcome to today's video. On today's video, I will show you what is the best car and how to upgrade your car so all your other cars can be as really good as ones that are in the higher class. Like how you get the is the best way to get a lower class car into a much higher class. And that is what we'll be doing today. First, you can see the sort of selection here of the manufacturer, performance class, year, the value, the car type, country, and the car that you've recently gotten. But anyway, we'll get a class. You can see the lowest, the D class, and you got all the older models. This this must do stuff. So like the classes are selected in how fast that car performs. So the D class is slowest. That car is going to be like really slow and speed. And the C class is a bit of a faster variant of the D class, so it's slow. The B class is it's a bit like your regular cars, but they can also be a bit slow. And then your A class cars is the one you would normally see on your regular basis, like the Audi here, the BMW, and your cars. And then you get to the S1 cars. This is where you get the more fast sports cars like the Chevy and the Jaguar, the car. And as the S2 is a much faster variant. So you got the S1 and two. It's where you got the proper Lamborghinis, the proper race cars. And then what's new to this game is the R class, which is in even faster. This used to be the X class in the previous game, but they've changed it so now you can get even higher. And then obviously the maxed out cars is the X class. Here you can see the only way you can get an X class is if you were to upgrade your R class or an S2. And you can see the numbers on here, the higher the number, the faster that car is. So obviously you start at a D class 100. And then that ends at what, 500? And then from the 400 to a 500, and then from the 500 all the way to 700, so on and so forth. So today we're gonna show you how to get one of these slower cars all the way down here. It might not go all the way to the next class, but there'll be some you can get started off with creating cards. Now, I was wondering, what is the best room? What is the best? Well, I'm not sure you'll say it's but what happens if you want to be more practical? And this is where this specific card, and you can see. So I was wondering, what's the best way to have a functionality? You want, you don't want just speed, yeah, you need speed, but you also want a comfort, a style. You also want passengers, and you want plenty of boot space. And as you can see here, I open the doors. You can see in the front, there's a little slot of that. 2 seats at the front, 2 seats at the back. They all got components each. And it's slide in here. There is a touch screen, a lot of other stuff that looks really nice. So obviously this is how the manufacturers get their really good cars. And you can see here we've got the engine and even more boot skills. Yeah, it may not have the best boot space, but I guess yeah. You can also have the back seats, these shopping stuff. But if we were to drive this, um, but not to drink and drive, guys. Kids, do drink and drive. This is just let's say some kind of rain and then it's fine. That's what's but you can see here the Rams have City. Yeah, it, this car is very fast. It just fast acceleration. Oh yeah, 200 miles an hour. It is not the easiest to drive. No, but when you get used to it, I say that impression. Oops. Oops. We can get to this section. There's the rocket in the distance. It's quite nice. Great acceleration, great speeds, really fast car. Alright, back to what I was doing. Let's go back here. Alright, you may notice that the garage is I've customized the garage a bit. If you haven't seen me do that. I've made a video about that, but anyway, we want the cars. My cars. Right, to go back to the class. So, like I was saying before, what makes the best car? Not just the best car, the best practical car. Well, you need funding to get to A to B, right? That's what a vehicle is. A vehicle is something that can transport one person to the other. And the best way to do that is to do that well the quickest way possible. But as years go by, that sort of thing is like, we need the passengers, we need well, we need a lot of stuff, including a cleaner engine. So a lot of these older cars, they weren't completely useless. Or are they? No, you can give them an upgrade. Well, which one do we want to choose? I think I will go for this one. The Fargo Nissan. Yeah, that one. Alright, as you can see, if it's starting off, it's a nice car. We don't want too bad. Don't do it over the names. It's the right. And we can do stuff on with then a wave or something like wave. No, do we change the wheel? We want to keep the character a bit like nice brakes. I mean, with the wheel somehow is set up things like each difference, but one race brakes. This gives us the brake much stronger. The weight and reduction, we want the least amount of weight. This so it's a lot lighter, and it's it happens when we drive it. It's not all that weight. No, across when we have to drive. Springs not really do anything with them. We can change. All this does is change the height. We can change the street ones because it's better. Yeah. No. It's like we know this is also a description. The clutch is the vital link between the engine and the transmission. Upgrades increase the clutch ability to handle an extra torque. So we're changing it be like the ability to extra torque the this is also linked to the engine. So let's try a differential allows the drive better. Of the you can bring the yeah, so basically it gives the car different driving style. Basically, so you want a straight one? Do you want a sporty car? Do you want a more a racing car, or you want a rally car. That basically all it does. You want a street. The driveline, you can improve the throttle response and acceleration. This also changes the weight of the car, so you want nice and light. The right way you can do this, we can rev the engine. That gives the idea of what the engine sounds like. It's a nice engine. Very much for engines. There's also the transmission, the the cogs inside of the car, and the transformation with power confidential as well. It's not much difference, but we can give it as if you know, say at the bit in the eyes, since we can't when we go to the tuning, we can unlock stuff in the tuning bed, and it just gives us the fun. Spot or race. Oh, this one is obviously fast. So that is the main that drives the engine better than the brakes. Now it's onto the main engines. You got the intake, the fuel system, the ignition, the valves, the crankshaft, the exhaust, the displacement, which is the engine itself, the pistons, and the turbo, the flywheel, oil cooling, and the intercooler, which is the radiator. So basically what I'm doing right now, you take the engine provides air filter, so we obviously want the best one, and this also gives us power, not much. The fuel system rates the neon big power increase the computer's prices. But if you're it basically improves the fuel. You notice that this also the handling and the acceleration goes down a bit, or the faster cars are always going to be harder to drive. The ignition, spawning, racing engine, valves, which I let the air flow into the mixture in physics. So we want the best ones. The crankshaft and the engine breathe more freely. Higher RPM, producing more torque and power. You always want the best one for that. The source system, I prove. Yeah, so you can grab that to make some links. Street exhaust, smart exhaust, so I'm gonna go for the street one for now. This also changes the noise of the engines, or if you're ever going. I think I will go on. Yeah, much more noisier than the previous ones. accessories, but sounds like this. Sounds like a proper sports car, doesn't it? Right, get an honest displacement. The engine grade on that, more powerful response. So yeah, this is basically the engine block. The main engine itself, well, the block. Pistons, which this is the pistons move. Right, this is the bit that really makes the thing go. You can actually go to find no, you can swap the. There are like engines you can swap out. So less powerful one, maybe one, maybe more powerful one. But for now, we're just dealing with the. Sometimes the the turbo will be under bodies and kits and conventions. So most of the time you will find it in the engine upgrades because it is an engine upgrade. And we can yeah, I don't think it has a turbo. Maybe it does. Maybe it has an info. I'm not the best. You can change it out for Sport Turbo, or we can have a Race Turbo, or we can have a Race Turbo with anti-lock. For now, I'm just gonna go for Sports Turbo. Now the freewheel it basically makes it smoother, and I think yeah, it makes it a little bit lighter. The iron cooling adds cooling to keep the engine oil the correct temperature and efficiency increasing power. So we obviously want the best oil and cooling on that. In the intercoolant, the resilient exact turbocharging of um you know this means also gives us power. That is the engine done. Like more. Actually, we can go to the group and swap. And this goes from, it's the letters F, a W, and D. And that stands for forward drive. So the drive bit will be at the forward. You can change that to RWD, which stands for rear wheel drive, and that drives the engine at the rear end. And you're going to have AWD, which has all four wheels driving all at once, which is what we need. And I want to see it's a lot louder, but as we've gone into install blocks, we go from a D class all the way to a B class. And we noticed the weight of the car's gone down from it wasn't really that heavy to begin with, but from 810 kilograms to 726 kilograms, so a lot lighter. And it only had 75 horsepower, not many. And we've got all the way to 254 horsepower. And that is a lot of horsepower. There's also these other things, but let so much about and as well comes this credits, which is in this game. It's a lot and a lot more of the better upgrades cost more, but we are saving that. And we know, but this is one of the treasure cars. This is one of the cars you collect. So this is a good car to start off with. It is also vertical, the car with a R5 blade on the level of, and it is a lot better to drive this car, which is doing a pretty probably not the safest. And kids, remember, don't drink and drive unless it's a San Pellegrino. These drinks are safer to drive. Well, let's say that is a crash. As I drove around Tokyo, trying that. Speeding along in the city. Oh, let's go. Even though it does as a maximum speed 112, it's not really that fast. We drive around Tokyo, definitely is. It's big and it's you don't want to but we don't need to go all the way back. Let's look how quickly. But we can go straight to here. We can tune the car. Now under here we have tire pressure. We can go on high. They basically is the grip pretty much. But over here we have the gearing. You'll notice it says speed and acceleration. And we have our gears, well, first to 6 gears, but we also have our final drive. Now, over on our right hand side, we can, if we were to move this, we can move, this moves all of them back and all of them forward. Now, adjusting this, we can have more acceleration that gives us more so rate quicker. It doesn't really do much of a difference there. And because it also drops our speed, so if you want to accelerate it quicker, it will also drop the speed, so you gotta be careful. This is where the gears come in first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. So this car has 6 gears. Some cars have less, some cars have more. But when you go from here, and you can see it is highlighted one of them. And if we remove this, it only moves that one. And that means we can choose to still have more speed, but it will also be closer to the second gear. And you'll notice on the left hand side is all the information you need. So, yeah, which if you look at the braking distance, that shows you how much at 60 miles an hour that would brake in 42.7 meters, and at 100 with it can't do that. Well, it's a lot more meters. It does go to 100 miles an hour, so I don't know why it has failed. You can move things. You see, as soon as you move on, I suppose that loads in for a bit, and then it doesn't change that particularly much. But if you make slight adjustments, it's more noticeable on the last year or the last gear that it's on. You know, it's the acceleration speed, so that's the one we are focusing on. It's the acceleration speed. So you can see the 0 to 100 miles an hour. That shows how many seconds it will actually reach 100 miles an hour. So, and you could also show us the top speed, or the estimated top speed as it is. So we brought this down to speed. And we want this as close as possible so we can get to that last gear faster. Because if it's too far away, it's gonna. What the car does it like the acceleration stops for a second and then it jumps onto the next gear. It's a lot more noticeable on manual drive, but in this game you can change it so it's always automatic drive. So what this is the closest together. That is it's too common. But you can see our top speed is now 225. We can move the acceleration a bit. That moves this thing back a bit. But we can adjust it slightly. You may notice there's also a grayed out area. That's where the theater was originally. In case you to get lost when you're trying to set this up. But the only thing, if you were to apply, it will set to there, so it only goes to where it was last. So you want to make sure there's enough space between each one. Okay, so that should do. And we notice we now have a top speed of 131. And we can go to alignment. We can't, as noticed before, we can't change it. And you see in the yellow, you see it even unlocked by installing rice springs and we didn't upgrade those. But if you really did, you can change the environment. You it's really doesn't really matter about these though. The anti-wall bars really it controls the balance between the car. So how much understeer and steel you can stiffen that up. The springs and you can change the ride height and how soft and stiff they are. The damping it doesn't do much but improves the handling and grip. So you can change how the bump stiffness is and rebound stiffness is. Aero, which we kind of done, which is similar to the earring, but if you were to attach a ring or a bit on the front bit, you can change if you want that to have like, a speed or if you want it to have more. The only thing is if you would have more, you will lose a lot more speed, so that's fine where it is. The brakes you can change how much brake pressure, if you want all the pressure, or if you want it more near the rail end, or if you want it more near the front end, doesn't really do much difference apart from the brakes. So it's finally differential though. This works best, like I was saying before, the front wheel drive, the back wheel drive, rear end can change depending on which driven you've got. So if you've got forward wheel drive, you can only do the forward acceleration, deceleration. So you can only do the one. But because we've got both, we've got all the acceleration. So you can see how much deceleration we have. I don't bring that up, so it's about evened out. In a sense. We can. This is only on 34, so we can have this all the way. No need to do it. So you could if you want, but I'll put 80% and just spawn on even amount. I like to put it on even amount. It's a lot easier. You can also change this acceleration speed. You can also change the balance. Doesn't but defaults well. That you can rate on that. So yeah, let's get up. We're gonna press apply and should be then we notice that your difference will be in a lot faster. So not only do we upgrade our engine, we're gonna tune the engine. But I had a better idea of doing it to the middle, we didn't just start speed better, I'm not push 50. Let's see. Today's traffic consistency. It was It's better. It's a short speed. Go up here. Break. Break. And out of the way. And my sister's actually they give them some kind of sports car, which is what we want, which is what we achieved. We can do this to every any car in game. You can make them into sports cars. You can also make them into the most really best thing you have ever seen. And trust me, the tuning does take some practice to get used to. I mean, when I started, I didn't got a clue how to tune the car, so I should. You don't need to max out the car to get how fast to make it go fast. So you can see now it's now 131 miles an hour. So that is a lot faster than just simply upgrading the car. We're gonna put brakes this it'll go well. You can also better upgrades or a better car. And it really depends on the car you drive. Obviously, this done that. But if you continue to faster you go, upgrade that car. Because you can get a much higher tuned car. But thanks for watching, and if you want to see any of my other videos, and go ahead and watch it. If this has inspired you, maybe another video like to look out for any other videos that I make, and subscribe, and I'll see you